welcome to Creature Features. It's that time of the evening, time of the weekend, right? I mean, this is the night when we all have fun. At least I do. I don't know about you guys. And we are with Lance Ozanix. He is like the lead, like you're like the orchestra leader for Skitzo.
That's right.
You're like up there with the sticks.
Oh,
when
yeah.
You're not playing guitar.
The conductor.
You are a conductor. And not all conductors are trained operators. Some of them operate bands as well. So we're going to talk about the band. We're going to talk about you and all of your shenanigans.
Oh, yes.
But first we're going to start this film, Nosferatu, which, I don't know if our viewers are going to like this because it's the first time, absolute first time we've ever shown a silent film.
I think it's great. It's a great film.
Well, it is like rather historic, but it's
Absolutely.
silent. So there's going to be a lot of music tonight. Not too much in the way of subtitles for those of you hard of hearing watching the show tonight. But I guess that makes our job easier, right?
Right.
Right. All right. So let's say we start this film, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Lance, and we're going to see some clips from his show, and we're going to talk about rock and roll and vampires and Nosferatu and filmmaking in general, right?
Awesome.
Right, off we go. Nosferatu, 1922. Hello, I'm Vincent, this is Tangella, and we just want to remind you we've got a wonderful website. It's at creaturefeatures.tv, and at that location we've got things like previous episodes, our merchandise, we've got photographs of the entire gang, including Tangella and her hideous friend, so be sure to come see our site. You'll love it. And that was a clip of our guest, Lance Ozanix. That was something else, to say the least. I mean, thank you for coming and sharing this with us.
Absolutely.
How are you?
Wonderful. We're still rocking and rolling and thrashing and bashing and stuff.
You should be. I'm told he's also known as the Duke of Puke.
Oh, dear.
Livingston. He's not too keen on vomit for some reason.
That's okay.
No, well, I was wondering this myself. This is like the thing you're famous for.
Yeah, at the end of our show, some green stuff, kind of like from The Exorcist, kind of flows out at the end of the night on stage.
From your
gully,
mouth.
Yeah.
My goodness. I sometimes when I was on stage, I would vomit as well, but I would not do it intentionally.
Really?
Right, I was just nervous.
Yeah, but the crowd got into it, though, right?
No, I would hide behind a Marshall stack and do it in a bucket.
That's wasted talent, man.
So this is part of your act, and you've gotten some notoriety for this.
Yeah. I mean, there've been some Springer episodes and Judge Judy and Ripley's Believe It or Not.
You were on Judge Judy for vomit.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of go find it online, I don't want to boast too much about it, but
all right, well,
I lost.
As soon as we're done here, I'm going to go look.
Okay.
You lost on Judge Judy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I was
goodness.
a terrible person, I guess.
I think everyone's a winner on that show, though, right?
If you say so, I don't know.
He's under non-disclosure. He can't speak of it.
Exactly.
All right, well, we're going to talk more about vomit in a bit because this is the type of thing that, is often covered in horror-type shows, I'm told.
Well, yeah, look at The Exorcist and Gene Simmons and all that.
I mean, it's horrifying, and horror films are horrifying as well.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of horrifying, Nosferatu.
I love it.
All right, so, it's not bad for a silent film. I mean, it's got some good music, and it's some good cinematography, considering it's only 1922. But, I was looking into this, and the actor, Max Schreck, who plays the monster, his name, Schreck, in German, means fear. terror,
Wow.
fright. So, yeah, it's interesting. So you like the film?
I love it.
All right, all right. Well, I think we should get back to the film. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about music and what you do. And he's in like a bunch of bands. You're like Lawrence Welk or something, right?
Without the bubble, with the green bubbles.
With the green bubbles. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys stay with us. We're going to get right back to Nosferatu right about now. You know, Lance Ozanix of Skitzo.
Mm-hmm.
I think this monster, vampire, whatever he is one of the most frightening ever. And you know, for such an old film.
Yeah, it's like, what, 97 years old by now?
It's almost a century.
Yeah. Ooh,
Right.
that's frightening enough.
How did they get him to be so frightening looking?
Well, you know, he wore a bald cap.
Right.
He extended his fingernails out. But, you know, they really didn't do a whole lot to his face because he has that frightening face anyway.
Well, that's, you know, I think if he was still alive, he'd make a good guest one day. You know, we wouldn't even have to show a film, right? We could just put him in the chair and ask him to speak. Well, not speak. We could show the cards like in the movie.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's all silly. All right, let's talk about you though. You're our guest, not Max Shrek. What a name.
Yeah.
So the band Skitzo. That was your first big band?
Yeah. We started it back in 1981.
1981.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I was just in junior high, and we just kept this thing going. And
Right.
went through, you know, like 175 band members, but
As one would,
yeah.
right? I mean, a typical band in 5 years goes through what, 5?
Yeah,
Right, at
that's
least.
true. But I got a good group of 5 people right now, and they're great people. So we're
And
rocking
you
and
still
rolling.
operate under the title Skitzo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, you probably have like the .com, right? Skitzo.com.
No,
You
that's
don't?
a toy company now, I guess.
Oh.
So you know.
That's a good name for a toy company.
Yeah.
I think it's a better name for a band, but
Right.
You know, I would buy both music and toys from a company called Skitzo Incorporated.
Yeah.
Right. So you did that forever, but you've got like other bands going on as well.
Yeah, you know, there's a Sweet Leaf and Electric Funeral are kind of like Black Sabbath, Ozzy tributes. I sing for those groups.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Set in Stone's a new band that I do some covers, you know, locally.
It's great.
But yeah, enjoy
No,
it.
you know the whole Aussie thing. Do you wear the little round glasses?
Sometimes, yeah, if the lights, you know, if we're playing outside at a festival or you know a summer show, yeah, I'll wear the glasses for that.
Well, you know, Ozzy's always had something of an issue with my old band because you know it was called Prince of Darkness, and he seems to think that title is his. No, it's a true story, but we own princeofdarkness.com, so people go looking for Ozzy on Prince of Darkness, they're going to find me.
Awesome.
Or what's left of my band. They're a bit cross with me. I sort of left in the middle of the night. I was done with it. You know, I was going to ask you, how can you do this for so long?
You know, Skitzo kind of just takes on a form of its own. There were many times where I wanted to quit.
Personally, you know, I grew quite weary with the whole process. You know, after like 20 years, and you've been doing it for what, close to 30?
38 years.
Goodness.
Well, but there's a great core of I'd say we got about 5,000 fans worldwide, and that's it. No more, no
So you're
less.
dedicated to the people who view.
Yep.
Right. No, that's good. I'll probably be doing the same thing with this show. They won't let me stop. Or they'll ask me to stop. One of the two. It'll happen. All right, I'm getting the signal. We've got to get back to this film. But when we come back, we're going to talk some more about your television appearances. This interests me. Because
Awesome.
that's the one thing we do the same now. All right, back to Nosferatu. You guys stay with us. It's going to be fun. You know, Lance, this film has some special effects, and I was not expecting that.
Right.
But it's like pre-Harryhausen, like stop motion animation. It looks a bit odd.
You can call it Gumby-ish.
It is like Gumby. It's Gumbish.
Right.
Gumbish. Gumby always frightened me as a child.
Really?
They did. Yeah, it was the blockheads.
Oh, yeah.
And the one monster, what was it? He looked like a pile of just a clay, and he walked around and ate everything.
Was that Sluggo?
I don't know.
I can't
No. He was an ongoing thing. This was like one episode, and they always showed this one episode, and this thing had a mouth, and it was ghastly.
Yeah.
No, it frightened me as a child. I mean, Gumby did not frighten you at all as a child?
Yeah.
Not really?
Not really.
All right. Well,
I think-
maybe this film did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get back to this film in a minute, but we are still with Mr. Lance Ozanix from Skitzo and a number of other bands, but he's also from the Jerry Springer Show. You said not once, but twice.
Oh, maybe 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times on Jerry Springer. I've not been invited once.
I've got connections, bud.
How does one get invited to Jerry Springer?
Well, at that time, Jerry was doing the fighting. This is like
Right.
in the late 90s.
Right.
And then the city of Chicago slapped him with fines because he was inciting violence.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
So this was all real. I always thought it was staged.
well, Jerry had to either say it's fake or say it's real. If he said it was fake, then everyone would say it's fake. But if he said it's real, then they would slap him with the fines.
Oh, my goodness.
So he had to like quit the fighting, and he went more towards crazy sick route, I guess,
Right.
disturbing. So
Right.
that's when they contacted us to do some puking on groupies
So
stuff.
you're just like at home one day, the phone rings, and it's Jerry Springer, and he says, "Will you come on my program and vomit?"
Well, his producers were there, and so yeah,
Oh, interesting.
it was
All right, so
an interesting time.
we're going to talk some more about this. I've got some ideas, but so your appearances, you'd go on, and there was the audience, and it was all legit, and you would like be a sideshow for Jerry Springer.
Pretty much. I mean, we'd have the Skitzo groupies, and I'd be puking on them and that kind of stuff.
All
I
right.
don't know.
I've never heard of this. Schizo groupies,
Yeah,
in which you would vomit upon them.
yeah, if they wanted it, I guess.
Only on Jerry Springer.
Right.
You don't do this like at the shows.
Yeah, sometimes.
I have no response to this. All right, so we need to like research this some more, but I'm getting the signal we got to get back to the movie. Really, you vomit on these people. My goodness. All right. Hey, to each his own, right?
Right.
All right, off we go. Nosferatu. Welcome back to the show. We are still watching Nosferatu 1922 with Mr. Lance Ozanix from Skitzo. And real quick before we talk about you, let's talk about this film. Our director Tom informed me that this film had some legal issues when it first came out because Bram Stoker's estate felt it was copied from that story of the original Dracula.
Wow.
Right, so there was a big lawsuit, and the widow of Bram Stoker set out to destroy every copy of this film once they won the lawsuit.
Jeez.
So we almost never saw this film. It's just a few copies slipped by and managed to be saved. So
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of amazing what happens with these things. Anyways, I'm beginning to like this film a bit more than I did at the onset because, a silent film, I suppose you can appreciate it like, music. Because music, you don't get the visual all the time unless you're watching MTV. And then, you listen to music, and in this film, you would watch it and get music too. I don't know. Anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about you. So, I want to ask,
Okay.
what is, like, the most insane or the most memorable concert you've ever done?
I'd have to say we're on tour in Texas somewhere in the mid 2000s.
Right.
It was at the last leg of our show on our tour, and the promoter bought a slip and slide.
Right.
And
This is the plastic that
yeah, it's about 10 feet long.
you put water on and kids
water,
slide. Right?
water, yes. Well, this time we put puke on it.
No.
Puked on it, and it kind of slid down into the audience. And then at the end of the night, everyone was slipping and sliding, doing puke angels. I mean, it was crazy.
Oh my goodness. Paul Livingston is cringing in the background with this story. Livingston, don't worry. There's no demonstrations tonight, right?
No.
Right.
No.
So, Texas, is this a common thing in Texas, or is this just like...
It was just kind of the crazy, like, at the end of the road, the end of the tour, and we just wanted to do something special.
I'm sure we've got a viewer from Texas. Do write to us and tell us if this is like a common thing, or is it just because Lance Ozanix was in town and they decided to make a slip and slide from vomit. That's incredible. All right. We need to stop before Paul Livingston has to excuse himself. But the movie is about to end, and we're going to see the end. How do you think it's going to end? You know how it's going to end. You can't say. Does it end well?
For some.
For some, and for others it will not. So you guys stay with us. We will be back with Lance after the next segment. Stay with us. And that's the end of Nosferatu. They used the old sunlight trick on him. If you ever have to encounter a vampire, especially in California. I don't think we have too many in California because there's so much sun, right? Who knows? Anyways, it was an alright film. I liked it. I like it better than I did at the commencement. What in God's name is Tangela?
She has discovered a new toy in the attic.
It sounds like a submachine gun.
It is a Thompson submachine gun.
Those are illegal in California.
Indeed.
She's gonna make so much trouble for us again. My lawyer likes her, but my pocketbook does not. All right, so you're prepared for the worst, I see.
I was just being careful.
I didn't know he was squeamish about this whole topic of vomit. We should have probably talked about something else, like guitars or something like that. But, it's a horrible topic for a horrible show that shows horror films. Doesn't it make sense?
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, enough with Livingston. Let's talk about you, Lance. So, what do you got going on next?
Got Skitzo playing at Spanky's in Cotati on Saturday, April 27th.
Cotati, California. That is such a wonderfully odd little town. I love it.
Yeah.
It's got like a main street with like clubs.
They call it the Cotati Crawl because everyone's like zombies at the end of the night.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was an alcohol-induced thing. Who knows? All right. Well, that's all fabulous stuff. How do we learn more?
Go to skitzo.biz. I can spell it for you.
Skitzo, yes. So let me try. SKITZO. .biz, and you go there and you'll learn all about Lance, his band, and his reputation for expelling the contents of his stomach. Right? Right. Well, you've been a fantastic guest, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thanks for having me.
You dragged on Judge Judy again. And next time you're in the neighborhood, come say hello.
Absolutely.
All right. As far as you guys go, thanks for staying up and watching a silent film with us. It was different, right? We might do it again, right, Livingston?
Indeed.
Who knows? He likes silent film because he's old, at least. Well, I think his hearing's going. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Have a pleasant weekend, and we shall see you next week. So, Lance, I'm really intrigued with this whole Jerry Springer thing. I mean, I was in a band, and, I would like to be on Jerry Springer. Do you have any advice? Do I need to learn how to vomit?
Dude, I've seen your act. You're a pretty good match.